Hello, my dear Aquariuses. This is your horoscope for 2025, and 2025 will be year of rehearsal of what's to come next 7 to 10 years. Yes, that's right, 7 to 10 years, my dear Aquariuses. Now, 2025 is sort of shifting year when all the planets will shift places, like zodiac signs. This is once in a lifetime event when you have such a year like packed with astrological events, and I think we are living in a truly amazing time, like historical time, when we will witness a lot of changes in the world and also personally, because just think about what's the chance that all the planets change places in 1 year, considering that slow moving planets take from 7 to 20 years to change sign. This is crazy, and aspects of 2025 is also one of the kind aspects, so stay with me until the end of the video to know all about it. So these slow moving planets, they will show you sort of previews, because they will be retrograding back to where they've been like for the last 15 to like 7 to 15 years. But it's just briefly, because in 2026 they will be back and will stay and will begin their journey of next 10 years. Now for you, one of the biggest things will be eclipses. Now eclipses is sort of rocket ships. I call them rocket ships because they take us somewhere so fast in the speed of light, like because we usually don't like those changes, because those changes that come through eclipses, they are most likely like shocking, life changing, once in a lifetime happening, sort of destined events, like for example marrying or giving birth or finding out that you're pregnant, and these things sort of you never expect, and all of a sudden and your course of life change, all these things happen. This is like usually eclipses topic. Now, eclipses happen because of lunar nodes. Now, lunar nodes, they are always two, north node and south node, and they are always opposite to each other, like in the sky. That's why eclipses fall on two different signs, affecting them simultaneously. Now, these lunar nodes, and which are opposite, these lunar nodes, they stay in one sign a year and a half. So a year and a half, like roughly speaking, they are going through life-changing events, and from the get-go of 2025, 29th of January, we will have these eclipses falling in your financial axis, meaning this line between two houses, your second house and eighth house. That is called financial sort of line between there, and two signs will be affected. And for you, it's that your second house and eighth house, your earning house, money earning house, and also the money that comes to you into your pocket from other sources, like for example husband, wife, or for example scholarship, alimony, whatever financial help you have there. Now these eclipses, they happen to sort of repeat or to come back. These lunar nodes, they come back to the same place every 18 years. So it takes them 18 years to be at the same point where they've been. Now you might recall back to 2007, 2008, what was going on in your life, so that if you are that age, so that you might think what kind of topics might be back into your life. Nothing will be the same, just similar situations might happen. For example, I can give you my story as an example. When this lunar nodes, they were on my financial axis, like second house and eighth house, exactly the same way. North node in second house, south node in my eighth house. It was sort of, I finished my studies and my scholarship ended. You see, that south node in eighth house is all about money that like supporting you from other coming into your pocket. So for me, that was scholarship that I received from government, university, for my master's degree. And south node is a node of loss, is a node of past, and node where you need to release things, leave it behind. So that's exactly what happened. My studies finished and my scholarship finished. So there was no money coming in like additional into my pocket, and I had to start working on my second house, because second house is income house where you earn money, and that's a destiny node there, north node where we headed. And also second house is about values, what we value the most, like family, studies, love, or your future career. And my values shifted that time during this north node in my second house, and eclipses were falling in these two houses. My whole life got changed, and I reevaluated actually what is valuable in the next 5 years like coming, which is like to be stable, to support myself financially, all these things. And I started working at that time. for the first time after my like real work, like after my studies. These things might happen to you too if that's you have a similar situation. But in general, there will be also a lot of change at your work. If you're working already, like you might change actually work for the better one, better paid one, because North Node is giving destined situation in your job house, sort of in your earning income house. You might double your resources, like coming your income stream, like earning yourself. Either you might lose it depending on your situation and on your natal chart, of course. Now both things might happen. Eighth house is also all about other people's money, like bank loan, and here it's great. You might actually close that loan, like pay out, and you might be happy, as an example, or it might finish sort of. And inheritance is here too. You might receive an inheritance, or sort of alimony might finish, as an example. Your kids grew up like from your ex-husband or from your ex-wife, and this is the legal age when alimony stops coming in, as an example. Next year and a half, these eclipses will be shifting around this area of your life, a lot of things, and same with the family budget. Like eighth house is about family budget, like between you and your husband. And in some cases, you might get divorced, as an example, and you might you lose this family budget, right? Or vice versa. You might get married. You see, your values are shifting here, but you are building now you should start working on how to deal with family budget and in general budget between you and your husband, or you and your wife, or long-term partner if you are getting like moving in together. These are all just examples. You have to translate into your own life. Like now, since July 2023, these nodes, meaning eclipses, they were falling in your third and ninth house. Now that was story of past a year and a half until January, and it still continue until first eclipse that will fall in March in your financial axis. Now, for the past a year and a half, since July 2023, you could have had a lot of situations around your studies or around media, like publishing a book. You might have published a book, or you might have written a research and also made it public, as an example, or you might have finished your studies, education, like graduated, or vice versa. You might have gotten admission and start studying, as an example. You might have also start driving a car, like learning having a driving license for the past a year and a half, because it was falling in your third and ninth house. That is the axis of movement, like this line is called movement axis, sort of movement of ideas, movement and physical movement and travels here, and all sorts of ideas, publicity, communication also here. You might have learned a few languages, or even just one, two. Or some of you guys might have traveled extensively. But in my case, I can tell you also what was going on for me when eclipses fall on my third and ninth houses. It was my world got smaller. Because, South Node, the node of loss, was in my ninth house. And ninth house is bigger world, like bigger vision, sort of your window to the world is bigger. And third house is where the North Node was, like the node of destiny and the direction where it's taking you. Now, third house is all about inner circle, is all about with whom you communicate daily, and it's more close circle, close friends. So this window to the world got smaller for me, because I finished sort of my big chapter life abroad, and I went back to my small town where I met and communicated only with my friends from high school. As this is my example, this thing happened, and sort of my world shrinked, and with whom I communicate also shrink, sort of. But for you, could have been different last a year and a half. You could have been busy in social media, or like creating podcasts, because it's communication line, of ideas. You might have created a YouTube channel, I don't know, and all these things. Like you might have worked on these projects related to social media, related to languages, speaking something, writing something, or maybe public speaking too, like teaching as well. Being a mentor, or even as a professor in some universities or colleges. So all this, where ideas move, and also physical body also move, all these things are here. So those things might have happened to you. Or if you have siblings, like sister and brother, their life got changed drastically, where you were witnessing that. because third house is also rules our brothers and sisters and close relatives and also neighbors. Those people were affected. Now, and for some of you, it might have been about even about grandkids. Now, this year we will have 4 eclipses. All of them are amazing. Just one is problematic, but we will have help. No worries on that. Now, first one, March 14th, we have lunar eclipse in your 8th house. At this eclipse, your ruler, Uranus, planet of surprises, will be playing big role. Plus, Saturn will be there, your ancient ruler. Now, Saturn is about restrictions and responsibilities, so it might remind you about responsibilities. Now, sudden surprises are due with this eclipse. You will never guess what is going to happen. It's usually like that with this kind of eclipses. Plus, Uranus is very active there, and Saturn, but it will bring big responsibility. Seems like 8th house, it might be health related, because 8th house is about our health, and especially mental health, for example. You might need to care for someone, as an example, and that will come as a big surprise to you. Or there might be some budget money changes, like activities, no matter whether it's your husband's or wife's, or the money that you've been receiving from, I don't know, government as help, like, I don't know, alimony or scholarship, or whatever is that, like support funds. If you are in business, then it's your investments, for example, or investors' money, like your business partner's money. And there will be some surprises with that sort of area of your life, but they will bring huge responsibility. For example, your business partner might tell you, like, he's leaving, as an example, that he's quitting, and I don't know, he doesn't want anymore to be in this business, and whole business lives on your shoulders, as an example, just as an example. Now, for some of you, it might be about conception and fertility, and here it's a huge surprise with responsibility. You might find out you're pregnant. Or if you've been wishing, now this is your eclipse, my dear Aquariuses, you might actually get pregnant and start your fertility journey and all these things, or all of a sudden get approved for adoption. All things related to this conception, conceiving a baby, no matter in vitro, naturally, non-traditional ways, everything here. But baby is always responsibility. The second eclipse, we have March 29, solar one in your 3rd house. Perfect one. 3rd house is all about communication, all about language. Now, you might open a like sort of business related to communication, like podcast or YouTube channel, whatever is that, or TikTok. This eclipse will set up amazing, ground for you to flourish in that communication area. And some of your brothers or sisters might bring happy news, like they are getting married, or they are having a baby, or whatever is that. Like, there will be huge shift in your siblings' life, as an example. Or 3rd house is about the transportation. You might buy a car, or someone gift you a car. That would be amazing gift, and you might start driving. Or 3rd house also about neighbors and relatives. Their lives might be affected hugely, which will also influence yours. 3rd house is also about your inner circle in general, like with whom you communicate daily. Those people around you, those your friendship circle, sort of might change here to better ones and to positive ones, let's say. The third eclipse, September 7th, lunar one, which is in your 2nd house, house of earning income, money house. That will be the best one so far. And September month, way like the best one of 2025. Now, whatever you have planned for 2025, better to postpone it until September if you can wait, because September will be huge, because we have this very rare aspect there, Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus, your ruler. They're all at 1 degrees in their signs. And if you think what's the percentage of getting all these planets at 1 degrees, sort of change new sign, and considering that each of them takes 7 to 20 years to change sign. So all these things happen in 1 year, and plus they are coming to 1 degree. This is crazy aspect now, which is amazing one, because they will be communicating friendly to each other, and they will be supporting that lunar eclipse on September 7th in your house of income. This is huge. Your income might skyrocket here, my dear Uranus, Aquariuses. It's sort of, you will have a stellar chance to land a dream job, to land a position, as an example, or job offer, or I don't know, tenfold your income source. You might earn quite good money here because it's your second house. Now, for some of you guys, it will be all about values. Like your values might shift. And I don't know, if your whole life you've been busy with your career, all of a sudden something might happen and, your vision change. You might start paying attention to your family and friends, which will shock them because this will be such a huge transformation there, which is positive one, and destined one. So it might be about your values, actually, what you value in life, right? The second house is also about eating habits. It might be that all of a sudden, for example, you might decide that you are becoming vegan or vegetarian, or vice versa. If you've been for the last, I don't know, 10 years vegan, for everyone's shock, you will start eating meat, as an example, again. Now, the last one, the last eclipse, solar eclipse, which will happen September 21st in your 8th house, will be a bumpy one because Saturn and Neptune, they will oppose that eclipse. Now, Saturn is a strict teacher, sort of teacher of the universe, and it will remind you about responsibility there. But no worries, because that trio, Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus at 1 degree, which will be influential for a half year almost, they will help you out with any sort of eclipse there. So with the last one, no worries, but it's happening in your 8th house. So again, money that is coming to you from other sources, like not the ones that you earn, but the ones that are like from your husband, from your wife, or again, if you're a student and it's your scholarship, or alimony, or any investments. Your investments here might sort of be limited or drop also. So better to avoid here investing into any coins or shares or any business. It might not be a good decision because then it seems like it will be in shortage. Returns will not be good, and all these things. 8th house is all about that, and the same about conception. This eclipse is good. The last one is good if you are like pregnant and you might actually give birth, and then it might mean that Saturn is imposing actually on your shoulders responsibility as being a parent, becoming a mother or father. So here then Saturn will play out directly that you are now mom, that you gave birth, or you found out that you're pregnant, and now you will have huge responsibility. Now let's talk about the slow moving planets that will change signs, as I said, because they will give you short clips, short trailers, like that upcoming movie for the next 7 to 10 years. Because all of them, they will be retrograding also, so they will crawl back to where they've spent for the last 10-15 years. For last sort of deals and checkups, but then they will be back in 2026, all of them, and full force until next decade. Now, 7th of July, Uranus, your ruler, planet of surprises, shocking situations, will move into your 5th house until November 8th. Now, Uranus takes 7 years to change sign. So in one sign, it stays 7 years. Now, from July until November, take notes what will be going on in your 5th house, because those things will be sort of like a hint telling you to prepare, for what's to come in the next 7 years in your life, in this part of your life. Uranus will be back in April 2026 after it will retrograde back into your 4th house, where it was since 2018-2019. Now, let's talk about Uranus in your 5th house, what's to come. First, now 5th house is all about true love. It's a house of joy, and plus Uranus is your ruler, my dear Aquarius. Seems like you will enjoy greatly this placement, one of the lucky zodiac signs, because it will be in Gemini. It will be sort of light, and also eccentric, more even eccentric, more freedom seeking, because Gemini is the same sort of way a zodiac sign, and Uranus will be much stronger, and it might give you sort of tantrums and surprises, and happy ones and unlucky ones too. All depend on your chart. Now, 5th house is all about true love. You might have a colorful dating life. If that's your case, then get ready, because Uranus will send you all sorts of people from all sorts of like walks of life. It's such a diversity. Uranus is all about diversity, and you will have, I would say, great experiences there. But it might not be long term, with Uranus there, because it's like roller coaster. I call this planet as roller coaster, either like up and down, sort of like this kind of experience. Now, 5th house is about business too. You might build business around new technologies, which is not surprising, right? Nowadays. And plus, you're Aquarius now. Era of Aquarius has started, and you might build your business around new technologies, and you might be successful because Uranus will be helping you to diversify, to achieve things all of a sudden, even like skyrocketing. For example, fifth house is also house of children, and here again, if you are not planning to have a baby, then take good care in the next 7 years, because it might give you a lot of situation that might take you a surprise, by surprise that you're pregnant, for example, and also about fertility journey. And if you've been trying to conceive a baby, then it seems like you will again resort to those solutions as in vitro, or adoption, like non-traditional ways, because Uranus is all about these new technologies and inventions, all these things. But if that happens, it will be shocking, believe me. Now, it might happen even from July until November, so that will be the message from Uranus into your life. Yeah, and Uranus, fifth house is also a house of those who are involved with art, with creating things, like artists, dancers, I don't know, models. If you are in that area, then it's Uranus here will give you great chances, a lot of like all of a sudden, let's say, chances, all of a sudden becoming popular, let's say, and showcasing your talent as well. But you will need to also as well be very active on that. Now, for the last that's your 7 years, by the way, upcoming in your this house of joy of life. And in general, how you have fun might change greatly. You might even be more outcoming and sort of friendly and sort of, how to say, open-minded, because fifth house is about joy and how we love this life, how we have fun, and how we love ourselves. You might be more open about others and about yourself, and even joking and all the stuff. It might greatly open your heart, which is I'm happy for you. When this Uranus hits your fifth house. Now, for the last 7 years, it was in your fourth house, so you might get some perspective. Fourth house is about family. It is about family that you build and family that you come from, and also about real estate, like whatever place that you live in, whether it's apartment, I don't know, whether it's a small place or a house or mansion, whatever is that. It's about those four sort of walls. Now, Uranus, since 2018, 2019, was giving you quite a lot of surprising things, depending on your situation, either related within your family, either related with your mom, for example, because fourth house rules our mothers, like surprising things, and either related to real estate. For example, you bought a real estate like within last 7 years, and it came as a surprise with some problems, or vice versa. You found out like a better price real estate, or you've been so happy and it was a surprise that garage was included, as an example. These are all examples, something about real estate, either for investment, or either even if you are in this business also here, or any apartment that you bought, whatever, or sold. Selling is also here. Or fourth house is about citizenship, like where you call you're a citizen of, like which country. And a lot of you guys might have migrated, like immigrated somewhere, sort of change location where you call home, because Uranus might have given you all of a sudden situations of that, no matter what's the reason, like getting married to a foreigner and moving across the ocean to another country, as an example, or I don't know, changing location or going to study to another country, and now you are there, I don't know, for the last 7 years, again, as an example. So you might have changed actually your location of living, and it's more about country. It's not about like city or state, more about country. Now, 30th of March, Neptune will also move into your change signs, and it will move into your third house. And Saturn. Now, these two, they will move both into your third house. Neptune will do so from March until October. So it will give you again sort of preview of what's to come. After October, it will go back into your second house of earning income. And then in January 2026, it will stay for the long 14 years. Yes, Neptune spends in one sign 14 years. That's how long it was in your income house. My dear Aquarius, for the last 14 years, since 2011, 2012, it was in your house of earning income, second house. Now, Neptune is planet of magic and also inspiration, spirituality. I love this planet, imagination also. Now it's moving into your third house. It will give you this inspiration and imagination to, get involved into communication, especially if you've been shy, a person in general, as if you've been known being as a shy person, then Neptune will give you courage here. Third house is all about courage. Is all about how to be brave, and seems like it will give you that imagination and inspiration. You might get inspired from like being a creator or blogger or influencer, or get involved into, I don't know, creating podcasts or taking interviews, whatever related to either speaking, either writing, either interviewing. All these things at third house, all things related to communication. Some of you guys might go into trade, because third house is about commerce and trade as well. Now, Neptune also here will give you a lot of sort of magic things happening around your siblings, your brothers. Your communication with them might get deeper, even might get stronger. Your bond might get stronger, especially if that wasn't the case before. And all these things might actually give sort of a glimpse of what's to come from March until October. So take note, my dear Aquariuses. Neptune spent in your second house for the last 14 years. And since 2011 and 12, you've been probably, Neptune in your second house was giving you a lot of kind of a rose-colored glasses vision, because not Uranus, sorry, Neptune. It has tendency to make it more, I don't know, romantic than in reality it is. So here you might have thought and even maybe visualized how you're going to earn money, but more visualized than actually doing things. Or some of you guys might have totally switched into spirituality journey, because Neptune is about spirituality, and you earn your income, like good money, from this spirituality, like teaching, whether it's astrology, whether it's yoga, I don't know, whether it's pilgrimaging, traveling to these sacred places, power places. You might have actually spent also a fortune on attending those kind of places, or yourself like earned money through that, like teaching some meditation, for example, or numerology or tarot cards. So for the last 14 years, that could have been your journey in your second house. And in general, Neptune here made more refined, more compassion, like your values, what you value in life. It was great, like for the past 14 years there, making you value actually more spiritual side of the life than anything else. Or also like being compassionate as well. Neptune is all about, compassion and all this stuff. Now, Saturn, as I said, will also move into your third house on 25th of May until September 1st. And then it will retrograde back into your second house, but it will be back February 2026 to stay until 2028. Now, Saturn takes 2 to 3 years to change sign, but we all know Saturn is very strong, because it's known as a strict teacher of our universe, sort of wise man, old man, and who all the time preaches, and gives lessons. If you haven't been a good boy or girl, if you have been, then Saturn also has, it will give you big presents. A lot of us, complain about Saturn, but in reality, Saturn might give also presents if it see that you've been doing great work since it was gone from that area of your life. Now, Saturn will move into your third house now together with Neptune, and it will be balancing sort of that Neptune, because Saturn, has a clear vision. It will not let Neptune to put those rose pink color glasses on your eyes. So it will give you clarity there, which will be amazing. And for the first 3 years, by the way, because Saturn will spend in your third house for the first 3 years until September. And also you will need to put hard work there. If it's like communication project, as I was mentioning about third house, then it will require hard work first 3 years so that you see results. Or it will also require responsibility. It will lay on your shoulders some responsibility as well. Or, for example, sibling. if some of you guys might start taking care of your sibling for one or another reason. Maybe they lost job and they are now financially dependent on you, as an example. So they will sort of, you will have to take care of your brother or sister or close relative, as an example, or neighbor even, because Saturn is about responsibilities and it's in your third house. And in general, third house is about close friendships, like those who you communicate daily and more intimately. And here, Saturn also has quality to shrink everything it touches, to make it smaller. Sort of your those who you communicate will get refined. Sort of some of them might fall out, and it might be painful, but you will start. Saturn will leave those people who are truly loyal and who are truly your friends and your people, which you should be happy about. So it sort of will clean up your close circle. It will make erase those people who are not serving any good anymore, even though you will be considering them as close friends, for example. And there could be sort of, your world could shrink a little bit, with whom especially you communicate daily. Like, for example, you had 3 best friends and now you will have 1. Something like this might happen. In general, it shrinks, and these things will give signals from May to September. So write down what that could be like, possibly. Now, for the last 3 years, it was in your second house of income. And again, Saturn here for the last 3 years, it's no wonder if your income wasn't so good, let's say, for the last 3 years since 2023, because Saturn again makes it smaller, as I said, and limited. You might have had some problems finding a job or getting a position, or let's say promotion, for example, or you could have had some problems with salary revision. There could have been some strict rules in your company, as an example, or strict boss there, where you have to follow. Saturn is about rules, where you have to follow someone's rules, or someone was there very oppressive. And in general, it was sort of more of a burden to earn money. This kind of feeling might have been present while Saturn was, for the last 3 years, transiting your house of income. And in general, your values. Second house is about values change. You got more responsible. You've got more wise, like old people, because Saturn is this kind of, planet. And you might have embodied those qualities and values, what you value in life. You might have started valuing long-term sort of values and gains and results than short-term, because Saturn is about long-term, like seeding, let's say, one by one, the seeds and, I don't know, beginnings of something which will grow in 10 years or something like this. You might have been start appreciating this kind of things rather than fast results. Now, Pluto is huge in your chart because it moved into your sign in your first house, and it moved last year, though it changed already last year, but 2025 it will be influential from 0 to 3 degrees. So Pluto will move through your sign until 3 degrees. So those are like the beginning of Aquarius, like born guys, you will be affected the most with this Pluto. And even if you are like not born in the beginning, but you have some planets and placements from 0 to 3 degrees, you will feel Pluto the most. Now, Pluto is all about transformation, and it rules your 10th house. Now, 10th house is all about career and social status, reputation. You might, become harsh on yourself at times, about how much influence you have, about how to be reputable. As an example, what's your reputation? What people value about you? What's your place in a bigger society? Are you like occupying higher position, or like as a CEO or manager? Like these topics might come forth with this Pluto in your first house. And Pluto, all about transformation. All these things will be number one. And plus, like 10th house is about social status. Like, are you employed or are you single? Especially if you've been for a long time single, you might sort of have a habit of beating yourself up about the situation that you're not with anyone yet, and you are, I don't know, 40 or 30. Don't do that, because Pluto loves to destroy everything into ashes, so that there's like a phoenix to be born from the ashes. So you will be embodying those qualities. You will need to sort of dive deep into those what you're afraid of, all those fears, so that you become more stronger as this newborn phoenix. That's why try to be kind to yourself whole 2025. Now, it's a first house. You might also change your surname or name. It's also about physical body, first house. A lot of you guys might change, I don't know, gain weight or lose weight or change your appearance totally or your style, how you wear clothes, as an example. Now let's talk about like Venus and Mars, personal planets, those that are retrograde. All of them gonna retrograde, which is again in 2025. It's very rare to have all of them retrograde in one year. Now we will start the year with Mars retrograding, Jupiter retrograding, and now Venus, planet of love and beauty, will also retrograde from 2nd March until April 13th. Now, every year and a half, roughly speaking, Venus retrogrades, meaning it's slow, it's weak, it doesn't influence any love, it doesn't affect any love. Now, there is no affection, so avoid any marriage during Venus retrograde. At the end of the day, it's a love planet. Everything can go wrong within your marriage, my dear Aquarius. If you have plans, avoid spring marriages, especially from 2nd of March until April 13th. It's just 40 days and 40 nights. You have to survive. Now, Venus is also a beauty planet. That's why no surgeries, no plastic surgeries, medical procedures to your face, appearance, because, result might be disappointing and you might not at all like these results. So avoid again these 40 days while Venus retrograde and keep track on that. Now, we all love when Venus in our 7th house, because 7th house is all about love and committed partnership, marriage. Now, from August 25th until September 19th, you will enjoy the love from with your one and only if you're married or if you're in a long-term relationship. If you're not, you will have great chances to meet someone and in general to circle, because Venus gives us this power to convince anyone into anything. We are charming at that time. Now, Mars will have very unusual behavior because, of course, it's retrograding. And, since September 2024, universe is telling you to focus on two parts of your life. And this, why we call them personal planets, because they affect us more directly through daily events, situations, people. That's why we feel them strongly. And Mars is one of those personal planets. And Mars, universe is telling through Mars to focus on two parts of your life since September 2024 until June 2025. Now, from January to April 18th, Mars will be in your 6th house. Now, 6th house is all about work and all about health. Seems like you might be hell of a busy right after festive holiday. There will be sort of assignments piled up on your desk. Could be like a lot of work assignments, a lot of communication at work with colleagues. It's a lot of things to do in daily basis. Like 6th house is our routine. You might get busy with sport, as an example, like hitting gym like every day. Mars is activity planet. It gives all sort of activities there, engine sort of. You might get quite busy at work or about your health and well-being or about your routine, like just sticking to one routine. For example, you might say like, 2025 resolution will be to start healthy lifestyle. And you will start like waking up at 6 a.m. and like doing sport, eating healthy and clean and all these things, as an example. Some of you guys might need a surgery because Mars rules all things sharp, like surgical knives, including, and, it's in your health house. Some of you, not necessarily something serious, could be also some medical procedure, like a beauty procedure. But the point here is like, this surgical knives touching your body. You might need a surgical assistance here. Now, if you are able, I would advise you to postpone it because Mars from January until then will be retrograding, slow and weak. Now, from April until June, it will be amazing time because Mars will be in your 7th house. 7th house is all about love, committed relationships, and partnerships. A lot of you guys might get busy, for example, with your wedding, preparation for a wedding, or actually getting married, or it can be you might travel with your sweetheart also. And especially this is only for those of you who are in a long-term partnerships and long-term relationships, or if you're married, like there might be sort of a lot of activities there. Or alternatively, if it's not love, if you say I'm single and you might be quite busy around signing contracts. Seventh house is all about, all other people with whom we have contractual agreement. And in general, seventh house is all about contractual agreements. You might be signing some papers, like important papers, back and forth communication, with which you will be very happy. Alternatively, seventh house is also about lawsuits. You might get busy there, like preparing some papers or appealing some decisions, I don't know, or vice versa, hearing some decisions, finally, rulings, and all these things. There could be a lot of things to do around your lawsuit. Now, I would like to mention a couple of days which will be important in 2025 and magical. First, February 23rd. Circle this day in your calendar, as this day is rare, because Neptune, planet of magic, will unite forces with your North Node, Destiny Node, in your house of income, superior position. This thing happened, so rare, this aspect, that it happened last time in 16th century. Can you imagine? Back in 16th century. That's how rare this Neptune to make forces, conjunction forces with your destiny node in your house of income. Amazing. Seems like around February, end of February, you will have once in a lifetime chance. For example, I don't know, to work in some beauty industry, because Neptune in your second house is all about sort of beautiful, is all about art, is all about also spirituality. Like you might become astrologer, well-known astrologer, or numerologer, or someone who teach like this like spiritual things, esoterics, like tarot cards. You might become popular, or sort of you might embody this spirituality, second hand, and you might earn from that. It might become so like your profession, your values might shift all of a sudden. Such an amazing conjunction there. Or you might, find a job, like there might be a job offer, but that job offer seems like will be related around the, I don't know, art area, creativity area, like acting or singing. You might get involved into, I don't know, some big project or your own exhibition of your work, for example. Now, April 14th, which will be, how to say, masterpiece and sort of amazing event. Now, April 14th, we have Saturn, same uniting forces with your North Node, same in your second house. And again, this is rare one because last time it happened in 19th century, almost 150 years ago. Now, Saturn is all like a strict teacher, and it's about responsibilities and limiting things, and it's cold, sort of. Now, it's connecting with your North Node in your second house. And second house, again, it's about work, it's about income. And here, for some of you guys, mid of April might be a sort of shortage in your income, or it might be sort of big responsibility from which you will make for yourself a name and earn a lot of money. Or you might receive another sort of job offer or collaboration offer, whatever, like to work together, or to work for some company. Or you might be offered a position, like, or promotion, which will come with big responsibilities, huge and long working hours, sort of. The last one, September 4th, one of the amazing, Jupiter, planet of luck and prosperity, moves into your sixth house. Not move, sorry, it is in your sixth house, and it will make amazing sort of aspect with North Node in your second house. Success. This is exactly how success looks in astrology. Now, Jupiter is planet of luck and abundance and happiness, and it's in your work house, and Destiny Node is in your earning income house. And Jupiter naturally rules your house of dreams and wishes. Seems like your wish is getting granted. If you've been longing, I don't know, wishing for promotion at your current job, this wish will be granted around beginning of September. If you've been wishing to totally change your professional area, again, you will have amazing chance there to take a better job with a better salary, as an example. If you've been wishing also something related to your health, because, Jupiter in your health house of well-being, again, here, because your values are changing because of those eclipses, because of that North Node is there, seems like beginning September, you might reach your goals related to physical body, related to how you feel yourself, how you handle your health and daily activities, for example, your daily routine. This might be the case. Now, and lastly, I forgot to tell about Jupiter. Now, this is another huge thing. Jupiter, first 6 months will be in your a fifth house, house of true love, falling in love. Sort of, it might actually, for you, those of you guys who are single, because Jupiter's planet of luck and abundance, it might give you that lucky chance to meet someone special with whom you start dating, let's say. In general, Jupiter expands your dating range because Jupiter makes everything bigger, whatever it touches. And the first 6 months, you will be in a huge luck to find someone if you're single. If you, let's say, in business, then it might be also about your business, like building your business or opening something new, starting your business. You will have all things related to business, sort of happy chances and opportunities there. You might find the right, I don't know, business partner, like venue for your business. Whatever is that, you will be in luck. And your Aquarius is used first 6 months of the year. Now, for some of you, it might be children. Now, Jupiter here will give you the gift of becoming parent or becoming pregnant. You see how your actually chart is all about also fertility and pregnancy. Seems like a lot of you guys might actually become parents or find out that you're pregnant in the next year and a half. Sort of these things might happen. Now, if you're an actor and dancer, singer, model, like in creativity area, art area, Jupiter will give you all sorts of opportunities to make for yourself a name. First 6.5 months, you will be noticed. Jupiter makes you shine. It makes on you spotlight there on your talents. Now, after 6 months, on June 9, Jupiter moves into your sixth house. The same happened 12 years ago. So recall back to 2013, what was going on in your life. So, again, nothing is similar, but topics might be same. Nothing is same, but topics might be similar. Sort of, it's coming into your sixth house, and it's all about your workplace, about your colleagues, about your health also. And Jupiter here expanded greatly. It will give you amazing chances to land that dream job. You see how this lunar nodes and this Jupiter working together, because lunar node, destiny node, will be in your income house and Jupiter will be in your work house. Those of you who've been wishing to find another better job, better paid job, or wishing to promotion, like to get promoted at your work, that wish will be granted. No doubt should be on that, because that's what your chart speaks to me. And same thing happened 12 years ago. For example, you started working, let's say, at this company, and now you reached highest the high and you're becoming CEO, as an example, after 12 years. Or you might change your company this year after so many years, like working at the same company or same place or same industry, not necessarily like same workplace. Could be same professional industry. You might change, totally switch to something new. So now this was your horoscope for 2025, my dear Aquarius. Check your rising sign, because rising sign is the most influential. For some of you guys, it still might be sun sign and moon sign, but check all three and compare which one affecting you the most. I wish you amazing 2025. Happy New Year. Love you all. Bye bye.